Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about Jessica Chastain's new movie, Molly's Game. Based on a true story, after Molly Bloom's Olympic skiing dreams are shattered in more ways than one, a dead-end job leads to her working for her boss's high-stakes poker game. When he tries to screw her over because he's broke, she takes his clients and creates her own game, becoming who was to be known as the Poker Princess. While this shouldn't come as a big surprise in a movie that does star Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba, the cast is definitely this movie's greatest strength. Jessica Chastain is as great as usual as the movie's main character, Molly Bloom. While I have to say that her character does come off very similar to her character in Miss Sloane when it comes to her take on the overall attitude, this is not a bad thing. I think she changed the character just enough to make it work to her advantage. Molly was a bit more vulnerable and Chastain pulls it off beautifully. Side note, Chastain did win the Opie for Best Actress last year for Miss Sloane and will probably be nominated for Best Actress for next year's Opies for this role as well. Not only did she own this movie on screen, but as the movie's narrator as well. Chastain has an extremely strong and commanding voice that demands your attention, and you will give it to her. Idris Elba gives a pretty solid performance as Bloom's lawyer as well. Now, I'm not going to say that this performance stands out as much as Chastain's, but nobody was going to do that in this movie anyway. I will say that the two of them together are always, at the very least, compelling. Also, Elba does have one really big standout scene that is a very memorable part of the movie. The supporting cast is really great as well. First and foremost, Michael Cera as Mr. X is fantastic. He's really likable at first, but you soon learn what a scumbag he really is. Cera shows some pretty good range in this aspect. We'll talk a little bit more about Mr. X in a bit. Kevin Costner plays Bloom's overachieving and demanding father in a way you'd expect him to, but that's not saying it's a bad thing. Lastly, I really enjoy Chris O'Dowd as the character of Douglas Downey. I don't know what it is with that guy, but he plays the semi-awkward normal guy like nobody else. He just comes off as very real and relatable. His character falls in love with Jessica Chastain, something I can relate to. Moving on. While I really enjoyed the plot to this movie, at times I found it a little hard to follow. Now, I'm not saying that this movie was hard to understand, I just felt that the whole story was moving along at such a fast pace that at times it was a little difficult to keep up. That being said, I think the movie's rapid pace was totally on purpose. I think the filmmakers did this just to show you how fast Molly's life was moving while her life as the Poker Princess was happening. There are times that the movie does slow down, so when it does, it has purpose. Again, Chastain's narration comes into play here as well. She does a phenomenal job at keeping up with the movie's pace and keeps you in it the whole time. Something else that some people might have issues following is when the movie talks about poker. The details fly at you in the rapid pace I just described a bit ago. While you might not get everything, if you have a general knowledge of no-limit Texas Hold'em poker, you'll keep up just fine. Just like in Molly Bloom's book, the movie does leave out a lot of names and places from the real story. I have to say this, the biggest question you'll leave this movie with is, so, who was Mr. X? While this movie does not address it, from what I can find during my research for this review, actor Tobey Maguire is that person. Well, mostly. You see, the character that Michael Cera is playing may or may not represent more than one character in the real story. While the real Molly Bloom has come out and said that some of Cera's character's actions were things that Maguire did, some of the more heinous stuff is still a mystery still. I wouldn't put it past Dark Toby, would I? I do have to say this, I think it would have been hilarious if they had cast Maguire in this role though. As always, if you want more of the real story, make sure to check out the link to History vs. Hollywood that I've put in the description below. I've also put a link to a story that details Tobey Maguire's involvement in the true story. Now, if you are looking for a really good dramatic movie, Molly's Game is certainly not a bust. Sorry. The story is well written, the pacing is blister fast, and the characters are all very fun to watch. While I do recommend this movie as a whole, I would say that even just for Jessica Chastain's performance alone, this one is worth checking out. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Molly's Game, let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. Till next time, I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino.